Hello, this is Jean Shumway, Reference and Instruction Librarian at Butler County Community College, and this video is an introduction to the CINAHL database. CINAHL, by the way, stands for Cumulative Index to Nursing and Allied Health. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to search the database: by keyword, by subject heading, and by a combination of the two. So in general, I use subject heading searching whenever possible because it allows me to more focus my search to results to articles that are more specific on my topic. I use keyword searching when there is no subject heading that aligns with my search topic or my search concept. I'm going to start off with keyword searching because it's what you're more familiar with. It's pretty similar to doing a Google search. I'm going to show you how to do it in the advanced search mode. The basic search mode, I'll click on that to show you what that looks like, is much like the Google search box. But in a database, the advanced search mode allows you to be much more precise in your searching. Now notice it has 3 boxes here. What you need to do in advanced search mode is divide up your search topic into its major concepts. So if my question is, how can we prevent hospital-acquired infections? My major concepts here are hospital-acquired infections. And notice it's helping me out here. So whenever it does that, I'm going to add that. And my other search concept is prevention. So I put in 1 concept per box, and then I click on search. And notice I got over 1,800 results. Below my search box, in most search databases, it'll have this search history area. And then for every search you do, and notice I've done a few searches, it will have your search statement. So here's hospital-acquired infections and prevention and your number of your search results. Now, the best way to narrow down your search is to add more search terms. So what do I want to know about hospital-acquired infections? How do I think I might prevent them? And within your PICO model, you might have ideas for that. So for example, I'm looking at hand washing as a way to reduce hospital-acquired infections. And then notice that this will help you out. The database is looking for other terms that you might want, such as or hand washing as 2 words rather than 1 word, or hand hygiene. And I'm going to select that one and then click on search. And notice in my search results, that's reduced my search quite a bit. It was very effective. Now I have 247 results. I just want to point out a couple more things up here in the search area. Notice that each of the boxes is connected with the word and that's your Boolean search term. If I click on the drop-down arrow, my other terms are here as well, or and not. And means you want both terms, or means you want either, not means you do not want the second term. You could change that. So I could change that to or, but I recommend not doing that. I find that my best luck is if I leave that as and, because if I change it to or not, it gets really complicated because the word order matters. So what this is looking for is anything with hospital-acquired infection, and it also has to have the word prevention, and then notice because I have the word or in here, it means I want at least one of these 3. So hand washing or hand washing as 2 words, or hand hygiene. So you put the ors or the nots within the boxes and you leave that as and. So for example, if I wanted to use the word not and I wanted not treatment, I would just put that right in the box there and I would get prevention but not treatment. Once you've run your search, scroll down and look at your search results. And I recommend looking at these different articles, pulling it up to see the full text, or not the full text, but the full record, and then looking at its subject headings and looking at its abstract and seeing if there's any words that you might want to add to your search terms. Sometimes you can discover other words to describe your topic, such in this case, you might want to look at the words cross-infection. And then you can scroll back up and add those to your search. So I might say I want hospital-acquired infections or cross-infection. Or I might want to use that instead of the word hospital-acquired infections. And that's a good way to improve your search results. Now, the other way to search is by subject headings. I'm going to clear my results here. To search by subject headings, you go up here in this area of the menu and click on CINAHL subject headings. When you're searching subject headings, you're searching a medical database of medical terms, and it's a little like searching a fancy dictionary. You, like a dictionary, you search one term at a time. So for this subject, my first term is hospital-acquired infections. So I browse their medical dictionary basically for that term. And what it comes up with is what matches. So this one, I look at this term cross-infection. I'm interested in that one. If you look across from this term, you can see it has a scope note. A scope note is basically going to give you a definition for it. So that says a cross-infection is any infection spread by a patient or staff member within a healthcare facility. And I say, yes, that is actually what I want. So I'm going to keep that one selected. And I don't see any other of these that I want. That seems to be right on my topic. Then I can go over here where it says subject headings for cross-infection. And this is where I can narrow down my search further. I can say, what about cross-infections do I want to know? What specifically do I want to search? And I am interested actually in prevention. So there is a subheading here called prevention and control. So I'm looking for prevention and control of cross-infection. Then I could click on search database. But before that, I might want to note whether I want to explode it or have it as a major topic. Exploding means that these are all in a tree structure. If I click on cross-infection, you can see how it falls in the tree structure. So medical subject headings go from broader terms like environment and public health or bacterial and fungal infections, and then down that branch of the tree to cross-infection here. And it's also in this tree branch under community-acquired infections. So whatever is above it, you can see all the things that are above cross-infection, and sometimes there are things below it. In this tree structure, there's nothing below it. In this tree structure, catheter-related infections is below cross-infection. If I explode a term, it means that it not only searches for cross-infections, but it searches for anything below that within the tree structure. A lot of times you actually want to search by to explode it, but that's up to you. You can look and decide that. So I'm going to leave it exploding the term. Now, major concept means that when a person at the National Library of Medicine is indexing all of these articles, they will select a few and say these are major concepts. So a few subject headings are major concepts. And then the rest they say are just lesser concepts. So they might have 10 terms and 3 of them are major concepts. I usually do not do that to start with. I'll just leave that unselected, but if I'm getting too many items, I might leave it as a major concept. I might actually select that. But for now we're not. I'm just going to explode it and then I'm going to search the database. So notice I got a lot of articles. I got 6,684 articles, but we need to continue to narrow that down by looking for more terms. So the first thing I do is I go up to CINAHL subject headings and I enter my next subject heading, which is, in this case, I am looking for hand washing. I am looking at hand washing as a way to minimize cross-infection, and that comes up right as a search term. I don't think for this I'm going to choose any subheadings. I'm just going to search the database. And then my third term, going back up to the subject headings, I want to search for patients because I'm interested in patients washing their hands. I choose patients from this list and I search the database. And wow, look at how many I got with that, over 242,000. But the next step is I want now a search that has all 3 of those terms. So the first thing I need to do is get rid of that term from this search box. Then I need to go down to my search history area and select the statements, the different terms that I've searched that I want to combine. So I want cross-infection, I want hand washing, and I want patients all to be terms within the articles that are retrieved. And then I want to go up here and I want to search with and because I want all of them. Or would mean I want any of them and I want them all, so I click on search with and. Notice it has search as statements 6, 7, and 8, and it says I got 323 articles. And then I can go down and look at my results. I can use the limiters on the side to narrow down my search, and the rest of it is the same as I just showed you. So 2 different ways to search. The third way to do it is if, say, I'm looking for cross infections, but I'm looking for single patient rooms. And I've gotten over 1,500 articles, and that's looking at as a keyword search. And I think maybe I'm going to try this as a subject heading. And I put in single patient rooms. Well, it comes up with patients' rooms. And I can see where it falls in there, but it doesn't really come up with single patient rooms. They're just patients' rooms. I could search this and end it to the search the database. And I could combine that with cross infections. So cross infection and patient rooms. But if I want to more specifically search for single patient rooms, I could just search that keyword search with my subject heading search. So you can see MH here, that means it's a mesh heading, so there's a subject heading search. This one, there is no MH, that's a keyword search. So this time I'm going to delete that mesh heading. I have these 2 searches combined, selected. I'm going to search with and I got 76 articles. So there is a way to searching a combination of keyword searching and subject heading searching. That concludes this tutorial on keyword and subject searching in the CINAHL database. Check out my other tutorial on CINAHL titled Other Good Stuff to Know, which includes things like getting the full text article, citing the sources, using limits and fields, and finding single citations.